on at it.
Well, we're set for the final 12 minutes. The third period has come to an end. The East squad still holding on to a 13-6 lead, but right now the West squad very, very dominant here in the second half. They have had the ball probably for 90% of the time, and yet they have failed to score. And in case you haven't followed football, that's the name of the game. Put points on the board. Jaggers sends two men to either side of the field. West comes in motion, back toward the line. Handoff is to Hartwig. Hartwig with about 2 or 3 tough yards straight ahead.
Good job that time by Roy Jansen for the East team, number 64. Again, skirting that block at the line of scrimmage, able to knock the ball carrier down, but only after a gain of about, what do we got, yard and a half, 2 yards, something like that. Make it about 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4.
So it'll be third down coming up here for the West squad. Trying to sustain some momentum here. Sticking on the ground, nothing real fancy. Out of the I formation. Jaggers in at quarterback. Hands off, quick hitter that time to Kirk Hayes inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line and up for the first down. And again, Corey Anderson. I think it's safe to say at this point that Anderson would have to be the defensive player of the game for the East.
No doubt about it. There you'll see Hayes and Anderson, and then that's Jerry Bader coming up to finish him off. Jerry from Lexington, Nebraska, assisting in on that play, but really give 3/4 of the tackle to Corey Anderson once again, and he's got my vote for defensive player of the game, Jim.
Right now, the West squad threatening to score, trailing 13-6 with 11 minutes remaining. Jaggers, hands off to Hartwig. Hartwig, oh, he was hit at the 15-yard line.
Guess
Anderson
who?
is there.
Guess who?
And number 72 also coming up with a little bit of an assist, Russ Davis.
That's the kind of hit sometimes that you get to make as a linebacker. You get to surprise that running back, and sometimes he'll hit the ground and he'll say, hey, why is the phone ringing? Somebody answer the phone. You know, you get tagged on the noggin a little bit on that helmet, and you hear the bells.
It'll be second down. Hand off to Hayes. Hayes fights for some room. He's got about 4 yards. He's close to the 10-yard line. That time a gain of about 5 straight ahead, and Hayes is doing a lot of this on his own. A
good job that time up front right after he got by the block of Eric Hansen. Again, number 73 making that trap block on that East team tackle. And Eric Hansen, again, from Shatter, Nebraska, going to Kearney State this fall. He's doing a good job up front. Let Hayes get by that line of scrimmage and pick up some more yardage. So Hayes really a workhorse, and again, Eric Hansen also a workhorse up front.
Third down and 3 now for the West squad. Some big plays on this drive. Handoff is to Hayes, and he gets across the 10, maybe to the 8-yard line. It looks to be shy of the first down. So we'll have to check that out.
We'll see the referee. I think they've unstacked it, and I think they're going to call it
fourth down.
Fourth down. Sure are.
Hey, I'm going to let you fill that out. I think we can certainly, boy, it's going to be tough at this point.
You betcha.
We mentioned Anderson defensively. Now we've got an official's timeout. It's going to go to the East squad. They want the timeout at this point, so they'll talk things over. Well, you look at some big play people on the East side for offensively. You go down the line. Of course, Ed Shagru, he hits Sean Waggle with that long pass. So, you know, I guess who are you going to give the nod to there? Probably you're going to have to go, you know, Shagru leading that first half onslaught. It would be tough. I guess I'd go with Shagru. You go with Waggle. That way we won't look like we copied off each other's card.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. You've mentioned the key people, and again, we talk about Stutzman. He made a great grab in the end zone. You know, offensively, you'd have to consider him. Smith on the pass. He did a great job at stepping up into the pocket, getting the pass off, and getting it, you know, delivered timely. You mentioned Waggle already. Well, those are some of the key people that we've seen this evening. And tell you what, we'll get her boiled down, and since there will be no conflict of interest between Mr. Kelter and I, we'll keep it split. How's that?
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to I'll mention some people from the West offense too. We have not had the opportunity to do that. Probably Aaron Smith certainly would be a candidate. Jason Stutzman on the receiving end a couple of times, but I think I got to give the nod on the west side pretty obviously to Kirk Hayes. I probably shouldn't say that because I see Adrian taking notes here as I comment, but Hayes with well over 70, with over 70 yards, he's been the workhorse. Certainly he would be a factor defensively for the West. That's going to be tough. Todd Suckup has been in on a few tackles. Bruce Benoist, I want to give the nod to him because he's very big. He's 6'7" and 220 pounds. They just had the measurement. They have called for the measurement for the first down, and they said it is a first down for the West.
Jim, we just had an update on Hayes for the evening. Kirk Hayes, that is, fullback for the West team. 21 carries, 86 yards. So he's definitely in the running for the MVP.
Right now, the West offensive line is really firing out. Now you throw that 5-2 defense out. They're inside the 10. They can go with their goal line defense. West squad, first and goal. Handoff is to Hayes. He's got very little.
Jim, and let's keep in mind also they can go with the goal line defense, and the linebackers can blitz now. So they're not restricted in what they can do. They can blitz, they can loop, they can scrape, they can do what they're normally used to doing and how they're playing. So that'll make somewhat of a difference on the play. I tell you what, I got to fill this ballot out here, and I'm having a problem. Well, you got to go with Corey Anderson.
No question. I've jotted down a couple. But we'll pass those along to you as time goes on, and time is moving on right now. 8:45 to go. The West on a second and goal. Here's the handoff. This is Hartwood. The reverse fake to keep it to Cullen West, and West is down inside the 5. Excellent that time on the execution. Brent Schliemann saved the touchdown. Nice faking in the backfield by Jaggers. I had Hartwig going up the middle, and he carried out his fake very well, and then West took the handoff coming around on the sweep.
The East team had him going up the middle too, and it's just unfortunate West couldn't have gotten up to the line of scrimmage maybe a step or two quicker because the hole was there. It was free into the end zone. He would have scored without a problem at all. As we look at Cullen West now, maybe an equipment problem, then that's what it is. So that'll give us a little bit of time here to take care of this most valuable player award, Jim.
Well, right now it'll be a third down call coming up, and even if the West team would fail to get the touchdown, they certainly would have enough time to come back and perhaps score again. The way they've been moving the football. Right now they're thinking touchdown, third down, and goal from the 3. The handoff goes. It's hit. It's Hayes. He falls forward. He's close to that goal line. Goes down. It's Corey Anderson making the stop. Hayes was hit right at the line of scrimmage, but spun off and got about a yard more. He's down close to the goal line at about the 1. It's a fourth down now. Fourth down and about a yard, and the West squad wants a timeout to talk things over. Well, how are you doing over there?
This is almost like voting for president. A lot of write-ins. But I don't know, Jim. I'm thinking Shagru from the East team, Hayes from the West team, Corey Anderson defensively for the East team. Who are we talking about on the West team? West team defense.
Well, I put down certainly Todd Suckup as one. I sure do like Bruce Benoist, mainly because he's bigger than I am.
And plus, I think there was a mild request from Bruce this afternoon to make sure we pronounced his name right. And we both acquiesced to a 6'7", 225-pound youngster.
And one of the other players that I think the East felt they had to control was Kurt Bartling. And I think for the most part, they've done a pretty good job of that.
Right.
So
well, look, I tell you what, maybe we ought to consider this guy. The chicken with the stripes. Boy, I tell you what, I wonder, he ought to go to San Diego, see if he could get in with a big time.
Well, cast your vote to who you think that is, but I'll give you a clue. It is not our producer, Steve Alvis. There is a resemblance.
You could have fooled me.
So it looks like it's a fourth down coming up here and about a yard. Big fourth down call right now.
I guarantee you Corey Anderson's going to be around the football wherever it goes.
7:40 to go. Well, you go with the workhorse. You go with what got you here, I guess. Jaggers, hands off to Hartwig, hits in, it's touchdown! A great second effort by Hartwig, and he just barely gets in.
Some good people up front there. We'll see it now. The right side of that line is going to clear out that hole. There's a good lead block in there by Hartwig. Or no, not Hartwig. I'm sorry. That's Hayes. 73 was in the middle. Eric Hansen once again. We saw number 61, Tom Klaus, in there making a good block up front. So, well, they've made a ball game out of it now. And let's, Jim, we just want to talk about the tie rule. In case this football game ends in a tie, we'll use the normal high school rules. The ball will be placed at the 10. They'll be given 4 downs to see if they can score, and then go from there until somebody does score and gets the game over with.
Here's Aaron Smith running to the end zone. He's not going to make it. It is knocked away. Well, that play is dead. That's all they had to do was prevent it from getting into the end zone, so the 2-point conversion fails. Aaron Smith tried to make it to the right corner. He then shoveled the ball into the end zone. It was batted away and intercepted, but
the play is here. The play is here if he can deliver it quickly. He's open in the corner of the end zone, but he just cannot get there. And then the comedy begins. The batted up ball, of course, that's it.
And Abe,
no advance.
If you did not have Anderson on your ballot, did you see he was the one that forced Aaron Smith to get rid of it? He was the one that came up to make the stop on it, and Aaron had to get rid of it. So the score remains at this point, the East 13 and the West 12. So it's really been something. Let's go down on the sidelines once again.
I'm with Troy Hartwig, the man that put him within 1 point. Did you think you were going to make it into the goal line?
It was tough. Everything was compact, and I didn't know if I was making it, but I squeezed through.
You guys are still down by 1. You think you can get the ball back and drive down like you did last time?
We can. Our defense is doing a really good job, and we'll be able to stick and do it.
And if they get the ball back, they'll have a chance.
So we're set for the kickoff. Here's the boot sailing downfield. And it is taken down at about the 10-yard line. Coming back upfield and getting free down the sideline. Breaking into the clear. That is Sean Weigel. Down across the 50 and down to the 47-yard line.
And you talk about game-saving tackles. Really, Scott Holly, again, the 8-man player from Sidney St. Patrick, will see the ball now. Watch on the grab here. Cullen West misses him right there. Again, a missed tackle right there. Now, Weigel's on his way. We see a flag being thrown right there. And Holly, I tell you what, that's a great job of squaring up by Scott Holly. And you can't do any better than that. Open field tackle is the toughest thing to do in football,
well,
really, to make that open field tackle. And Holly just squared up on him and knocked him down.
Clipping call, Abe, was the call on him.
Big break for the West team because they were down in East team, or I should say the West team territory, and now it's going to come back.
So they'll spot the ball all the way back downfield to the 12-yard line. But the East team now holding on to the slimmest of leads at 13-12 with 7:17 to go. Obviously, the decision to go for the 2 based maybe on a couple of things. The fact that the West coach felt they could get the ball back again and score, and the fact he thought they could get into the end zone and hold that 1-point advantage. But right now, the West trails by 1, 13-12, 7:10 remaining. Sam Park out on offense at quarterback for the East. They collide in the backfield. Fumble! The West has it. That's the indication.
Let's see if we can pick out from that pile just who it is that came up with a fumble.
Brent Knoll collided in the backfield.
Number 41 for the rest, and that's Justin Krantz at linebacker. And what a big play. Justin Krantz will walk on at the University of Nebraska this fall. He's from Baird, Nebraska, 6'1", 190 pounds, and just made a big play for the West squad here. And there was some confusion. There was a little bit of a dance and a kiss. Watch this here with the quarterback and the fullback will kiss each other right there. Oops. And then a boom. He never had control of the ball right there. And then Krantz will come up with it. And again, a big play by 41, Justin Krantz.
Stutzman in motion, the West with the football. Hand off to Hartwig over the right side. Fights for some room inside the 15, down to about the 12. And who was it earlier today who told us that mistakes would be the difference in the ballgame?
I think it was Harlan Dorman, the coach of the West team, and he said exactly what you just quoted, Jim, and that is mistakes will turn the tail. He's been in enough of these games and seen enough of them that that usually is the case.
So Jaggers sets them down. Second down from the 12. 2nd and 8. Cullen West in motion to the near side. Hand off is to Hayes. Hayes fighting for some room and gets it down to the 10-yard line. And he's hit down there. Let's go down to the sideline now.
I'm with Justin Krantz, the man that picked up the ball. Tell us how the play developed.
Well, the play started out as a dive. One of our interior people, I think it was nose guard Kurt Bartley, popped the man. The ball came loose, came opportunity. The ball came up, and we got a hold of it.
You're not pumped up, are you?
Fired up, man.
Okay, go get him.
Well, these two teams have been going at it all evening long, and as we've said so many times in games like this, it's tough to see one side lose. Here's the handoff again to Hayes, and he's inside the 10.
Jim, that was that triple I formation that Dorman talked about. That's the first time we've seen it tonight, and it didn't appear to confuse the East team that much. However, they did pick up about 4 yards on the play. It's going to be 4th down now in about 3. Time to talk it over.
Well, coming in from the near sideline is number 71, Bruce Benoist. Now, he could be going for the field goal at this point. Well, we got 4 minutes and 59 seconds remaining, and it's just kind of a ho-hummer, isn't it, Abe?
You know, we talked about the exciting part of this All-Star game, and maybe the not so exciting part of this All-Star game during this telecast in relation to what the press has talked about. But I tell you what, this game has just lived up to all the expectations we had for this evening, and it's just been an exciting evening on a great evening to play football, and the kids have really put their all into it. Nobody can characterize this game tonight as a dull football game. It's just been great. I've really enjoyed it, Jim. And you know, we look at these types of things as to how quickly the game goes by. And it looks like, to me anyway, it feels like this game is just sort of snap, 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 went right by this evening. Whereas when games turn dull, they last forever. And this game has really been all that we had hoped that it would be. And we're real pleased for both sides and for the people that put on this game that it's gone this well as we watch Norman come off the field.
Yeah, it'll be Bruce Benoist trying for the field goal. He'll hit it at about the 14, so normally a chip shot.
Keep your head down, Bruce.
The ball is down, the kick is up. It is long enough, it is good! And the West team has taken a 15-13 lead, but buckle your chin strap. We've got another 5 minutes of action, and the East is not out of this one yet.
And look at that shot right there. I tell you what a sight. What a sight.
Well, it's been an outstanding football game, and your Nebraska ETV network, so very proud to be able to bring it to you.
Bruce Benoist from Bridgeport, Nebraska, headed to York College on a basketball scholarship. Bruce is 6'7", as we mentioned earlier, 220 pounds. It's a pretty good size for a basketball player, I'd say. But he may want to think about some football ambitions after kicking that field goal and playing as well as he has on offense tonight. So Bruce has done a well of a job.
Well, unfortunately, I made him my defensive player of the game. I wish I could change. He could be the offensive player now.
What the heck? It's an honor.
There's the boot. He's pumped up. He sends this one deep down to the 10-yard line. Back upfield, that's Waggle. The big play man for the East goes down near the 30. And so here we go. In the final 4 minutes and 53 seconds, the East will try to move the football downfield. In comes Sam Park. It'll be on his shoulders at quarterback, the 5'11", 195-pound senior out of Hershey. Can he get the job done? Well, you can bet that offensive line will be trying to fire out right now. First down and 10, slot left formation. Park back to pass, left-hander fires, intercepted at the 45, back upfield. Krantz back, still moving. Justin Krantz is down inside the 20 to the 15. And there is going to be the defensive player of the game.
Yeah, and you know, you got to look at him now. Most definitely, he has changed the whole complexion of the ball game. To recover that fumble just moments earlier, and now intercepts the pass. And the West team here could really put it away. Now, Park is just a little bit short on the delivery, and Krantz is there. He goes up, fields the ball like a basketball player, and then he's off to the left side and picks up good yardage. Good effort. Now watch. He'll make a hit here, and boom, he's not done yet. Keep going, and picks up another yard or two. But Justin Krantz really has turned the complexion of this whole ball game around.
The power I formation, Colin West straight ahead. Well, our end zone cameraman perched up there in that box, probably suffering from wind chill, but nonetheless saw Krantz. He got a great shot of Krantz just flowing into the defensive secondary, right into the action, and got into the passing lane, picking it off and bringing it back for the West. And right now, they're trying to kill some clock. 3:50 and counting. The stack or the power I. Handoff, that is over the left side. Hartwick down to about the 10.
To run that play also on a quick count, Jim, you'll see that play executed and the three-back splitting going all different directions. Now watch this end zone shot. You'll see what I mean. They're going all different directions. You got to take your pick, and you got to make a good commitment, a good guess, perhaps, and read your keys. Try to be as educated as you can about the play. Read your keys and get to the ball carrier. Quick development. They're all quick out there. That's one of the things that Coach Dorman said we got to rely on. That's our strength, is our quickness, and he was much concerned about that as we look at that triple I or power I once again. Whoops, get on the right side there. That's Todd Morton.
Now the West will have to take a timeout. A little disorganization going on, and to avoid the penalty, they take the timeout. But it does do a good deed for the East squad. It kills the clock with 3:02 remaining. And that's the last thing in the world that Harlan Dorman wanted at that point.
We look at the huddle out there now. The coaches can come out on the field and discuss the plays with the ball clubs, as Coach Novacek is doing on the East team, drawing quite a crowd out there right now, I might add.
Well, it would look like at this point the East will have to come up with something big defensively in order to pull this off. Let's go back down now on the sideline.
You know, there aren't a lot of place kickers your size. Where'd you get the touch?
I just played a lot of soccer when I was in the 3rd and 4th grade. I don't know. Talent.
Did you ever expect to be a ball game like this one?
Not a doubt in my mind. I didn't think it'd be anything like this.
You know, right now you're sitting with the game winners. Was there any pressure heading up to that kick?
A lot of pressure. I just took my time and put her in.
And the young man didn't buckle.
So we're gathered around the East squad right now as they try to figure out how they're going to stop the West. By the way, one of the interesting things, Abe, is that Benoist is going to try to become an athletic director.
Yeah, I talked to him this morning about that, and he's going to be going, as I mentioned, to York College to study athletic directing. I said, Benoit, I hadn't heard of that. He said, well, it's a new area for me. He's a quite confident kid, just as he said earlier. It's talent that made him kick it as well as he did.
There's the end around, and this time it is smothered. Todd Morton goes down out on the right flat, and it's going to be short of the first down. It'll bring up a 4th down call.
Scott Schramer over there to make the tackle. Now watch the right side of your screen. Number 46, Schramer will string the play out as we look at Morton coming down. I guess that was actually number 50, Carson, that is, that made the hit. But Schramer was over there, and he helped on the containment. Jim, on the evening, as far as most valuable players go, East offense, Ed Chagru. The West offense, Kirk Hayes. East defense, who else? Corey Anderson. But on the West defense, we're talking about Dave Feddersen from Alliance, has been voted in the majority. So way to go, Dave.
4th down call. The handoff, not going to be enough. Looks like, well, let's get the indication here. Let's see where they stack it up. Looks like the East squad has done their job. Brent Schliemann cuts it down at about the 8-yard line.
And what it boils down to is the East team has about 81 yards of real estate to cover in about 2 minutes and 6 seconds. I'll guarantee you they can get the job done because they have the likes of Mr. Weigel. And who we got in at quarterback right now?
I think they still have Sam Park in there.
Sam Park is in there.
In motion goes Brandon Kruger. Back goes Park. Throws. He's got Weigel. It's caught. The flag is down now in the 30. Weigel goes down at the 32. Now the flag went down, and it looked like in the offensive backfield, so that would normally indicate a holding call. It's a procedure call instead.
Bruce Benoist, of course, clapping his hands as a return to the West team side of the line of scrimmage. Here we'll see Park on the drop again. Left-handed passers, you can see. All for naught, though. Good straight-up tackle there by number 84 for the West. That's Alan Terwilliger.
Looked also like the center that time did a double pump. He tried to snap it and then finally got rid of it. Maybe by that time the line had started the charge. So at any rate, the penalty was a procedure call against the East. So they are really hampered here by a mistake late in the ball game. 1:42 to go. 15-13 the West. Park rolls left, looks, throws. It is caught by Wagle. 35, 30-yard line. Wagle is down at the 31.
Tell you what, and Wagle has been in on some big plays this evening. That one play just previous, of course, had to go back because of the penalty. We'll see it now. Park delivering the ball, sprint out to the left. Wagle on an up route to the inside. Good grab and then good ability to run after he catches the ball. And Scott Holly there to make the hit, getting some help from his friends. But Wagle really an instrumental part of this East offense tonight.
Park back to pass once more, throws long over the middle. It is caught by Wagle inside the 50 to the 47. And you might have been able to make a plea for maybe pass interference. But Wagle with a great reception.
Good blocking up front by that East line to let Parks deliver, and then he splits. Wagle splits the defenders again. Alan Terwilliger in the secondary on the deep coverage, and a good job again that time. Wagle, I tell you what, he's got great hands and great speed, so they're not out of this ball game, Jim, not by any means.
Ball at the 47, 1:10 to go. Park rolls out left, fires over the middle. It is caught inside the 40, down to the 38-yard line. Jared Burge on the reception. The tight end. It's close to a first down.
Burge that time simply on the hook pattern, a deep hook. We'll see it again. Sprint out left once again. Everybody thinking, well, maybe Wagle again, but here's Burge, and then he runs well with the ball after he catches it. Good tackle that time by number 32 for the red team, and that's Steve Stahl from Bridgeport, Nebraska.
Another break for the East squad as the officials take a timeout. They're going to bring the chains in from the side so the East can conserve their timeout. So we have 56 seconds to go. You begin to think about a field goal. Well, they'll remember this one for quite a while. Adrian, we're going down to the wire. It's 15-13. Both teams can say that they had their opportunities to win it.
You betcha. And the East team, perhaps, if they do come out on the short end of the score, they're going to think about that play on the kickoff where Wagle had run the ball down to near the 40-yard line. With the West team, it came back because of a clipping penalty, and they had to start back there at the 5 or 6-yard line, or thereabouts anyway. But they have had their opportunities, no question about it, and everybody has really given their all this evening.
The ball is at the 38-yard line in West Territory. The East with 49 seconds to go and counting, trailing by 2, 15-13. Park drops back. Left-hander fires to the sideline, incomplete. Somebody might have been mixed up on the pattern. Wagle in the area.
Well, I'll tell you what happened, Jim, is that Alan Terwilliger from his left cornerback position, and I don't know why he was doing this, but he was coming on a blitz. He ran out of the area that Wagle ran into. Wagle, of course, wide open. Park simply overthrew the football, but Terwilliger on a blitz from his left cornerback, and he had to just misread it or make a mistake. On the evening thus far, Wagle 4 catches for 121 yards, and that will set a new record, as I understand it, most yards pass receiving. Jim Maxwell from Scottsbluff, Nebraska, said in 1982, 82 yards on the evening. Wagle has simply demolished that here this evening. So, again, 4 catches, 121 yards. Simply a great effort by Wagle, and again, he's done a great job on kick returns, too.
So the East team conferring on the sideline. Park goes over to talk with Mike Howard.
There's assistant coach Denny Van Winkle along with Dorman, as Mike Howard is holding school with his people, with Park and Shagru over there. A lot of strategy going on right now. These guys want to win this game.
Well, you have to start thinking about the East kicker. Does he have the leg to do it? Brent Knoll has been handling some of the kickoff duties. He appears to be able to get into range, probably inside, we'll say inside the 25. He probably has a very legitimate shot. I don't think he has much of a win to contend with at this point. 37 seconds remaining. The clock certainly the enemy of the East squad right now. And here they go as they break huddle. It'll be 2nd and 10, but we're in 4-down territory right now. Slot I formation. Back goes Park, hits free. He's going to be hit down back on the 46-yard line.
That was Todd Suckup that first made contact out there, and then he got some help from Abe Placenta from his linebacker position. So they really, the West defense, answered the charge. And watch Suckup, 45. Boom, right there. He slows him down, almost strips the ball away. Placentia is around there. He's going to help out. I guess he's just a little bit late on that hit, but he did help out somewhat.
Feddersen was in on the play at first, was blocked, then got back up and made the final hit there to bring Park down way back upfield at the 46-yard line. It's 3rd down and long, and of course, that's academic. The scoreboard tells it all. 18 seconds, and the East 2 plays away from maybe victory or defeat.